A kitten was hit by a bicycle, but instead of running away, the brave kitten immediately went to the hospital. This is incredible. The kitten had been hit by the bicycle right next to the hospital. At first, the kitten hesitated, probably because it was scared. But when it realized that there were people inside who could help it, it took all its strength and crossed the road to go to the hospital. A man witnessed this amazing scene and couldn't believe his eyes. He started filming the kitten with his phone. The kitten managed to cross the entire street without being run over. It was getting dark, and the kitten, which was only a few months old, was very much alone in this big city. When the man saw that the kitten wasn't moving, he thought it was dead. But then he heard meowing and realized that the kitten was still alive. But why did the kitten go to the hospital? You might think that it wanted some food or that it wanted to be petted, but that wasn't the case. No! The kitten had actually been injured in the accident, and so it wanted to get help from the people at the hospital. At first, the kitten stayed outside, hiding behind a bush, but then it mustered up all its strength and walked into the hospital lobby. As soon as the people in the hospital saw the kitten, they knew they had to do something about it. Someone immediately went outside to look for the driver who had hit the kitten with his bike. But when he returned, he told them that he hadn't seen anything. Maybe he had hit a cat, but he had driven straight past the hospital. He must not have noticed the kitten lying on the ground. In the meantime, someone had put the kitten on a blanket and was now gently stroking it. The kitten purred loudly, apparently very grateful for the care it was receiving. The people at the hospital gave the kitten food and water. But when they tried to pick it up, the kitten got scared again and ran away. It hid behind the water tank in the hospital bathroom, but it didn't stay there for long. The kitten had obviously come to the right place, because it knew it would be taken care of here. After just a few minutes, it allowed itself to be picked up and carried out of the bathroom. But who was this kind person who rescued the kitten? It was a 36-year-old woman named Mary. She worked as a clerk at the hospital. She said she couldn't stand it anymore when she heard the kitten meowing pitifully. She was very happy that she was able to comfort the kitten and that it immediately stopped crying once she started stroking it. The kitten also seemed to trust her completely. It rubbed against her hand and purred contentedly, but then the kitten suddenly stopped purring. It looked very tired and weak. Mary immediately called a veterinarian to examine the kitten. She cradled the kitten while she waited for the vet. The kitten seemed to know that Mary wanted to help it, and that made it very relaxed. That's probably why it fell asleep in her hands. When the vet arrived, he examined the kitten and found that it had a broken leg. In addition, it had several deep wounds on its body. It was clear to everyone that the kitten would unmake it if it had been brought to the hospital. It was very lucky that it managed to cross the busy street. After the doctor had set the kitten's broken leg, Mary took it home. There, she fed it warm milk and gave it medicine to kill the pain. Because of its injuries, the kitten couldn't walk yet. So Mary stroked it for hours to keep it company. Even though the kitten was in pain and couldn't see properly due to the medication, it still purred whenever Mary came near it. It was obvious that the kitten trusted her completely. It knew that she wanted to help it and nothing more. Mary took care of the kitten day and night. She massaged its body to improve blood circulation and stroked its fur so that it grew back quickly. Fortunately, Mary had experience with kittens because she had adopted 2 stray cats a few years earlier. These 2 cats lived outdoors, but Mary made sure they were well fed. They even had their own shelter, so it wasn't the first time Mary had cared for a kitten. She knew exactly what needed to be done. Over time, the kitten became stronger. It could finally walk again and play with a ball of yarn. The kitten got its name, Ginger, because of its beautiful ginger fur. One day, Mary posted a video of Ginger online. She wanted to show the world how important it is to be kind to animals. In addition, she hoped that someone would adopt Ginger because she already had 2 cats herself and couldn't take care of any more animals. But no one wanted to adopt Ginger. Mary couldn't believe it. She thought Ginger was a beautiful cat, and that someone would surely want to have it as a pet. But week after week, month after month, Ginger stayed with Mary. Meanwhile, Ginger grew up to be a beautiful cat. It often played with Mary's other cats and chased butterflies in the garden. Even though Ginger loved playing outside, It never strayed too far from home. It was very smart and knew that Mary was its best friend. Ginger would snuggle up to Mary every evening and purr loudly. It was simply the most beautiful cat. Mary was very happy that she took Ginger in all those years ago. If she hadn't, the cat would surely have died. Because Ginger was such a sweet and loving cat, Mary decided to keep it for the rest of her life. They spent their days playing and their nights sleeping peacefully next to each other. Mary was very happy with her decision. The story of Ginger goes to show that animals are very sensitive and smart creatures. If the kitten hadn't gone to the hospital on its own, it would have died. But the fact that it was able to cross such a busy street shows how determined it was to survive. Also, the kitten knew that people worked at the hospital, so it must have realized that they could help it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gone there. And then there's Mary. If she hadn't taken the kitten in, it would have surely frozen to death or been run over by another car. So it was definitely meant to be that Mary met Ginger. Ginger is now a happy cat who gets to spend the rest of her life with her beloved owner. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to be the first to see our next videos.